All right, let's keep rolling. I got a call out from a friend who I love so much. He's working out in Germany doing some amazing stuff, and he's working on just turned me on to a reaction diffusion model. And so I immediately went into letting OpenAI teach me everything it could about it. Reaction diffusion model on a 2D surface that controls the kill with a single number slider interval domains by creating some animations into a game design. And it really nice turned me on the Gray Scott's model. In brief, it gave me the formulas for what the kill is and what the UV are as multidimensional kind of domains, if that's what I'm thinking correctly. And then it made these ideas for leveraging a game in 20 different stages. Pretty amazing. From procedural textures in puzzle game all the way through to logo, title, screen effects. At that point, I was like, okay, what's the script? I input it. This actually isn't the first one. The first one that I'll save this one. The first one that I actually loaded in, we'll save this one. We want to go reaction diffusion 1. There it is, and we'll run the script. We'll take this back to the beginning, and we'll run the script and see what it does. And let's hit the animation, and there it is. And you just got to patiently watch it. What's nice is this keyframe of what's happening is ongoing. It just keeps going. And even though it's doing a loop again, this pattern that's been put into place by the code, which is very interesting as an animation, just continues and continues and continues. And there's that Laplacian U and Laplacian V values. So hopefully we've got some script that can help out my friend, and we can start to analyze. It's interesting that this says it's going to where is it? It says that it's going to run the script, press play, and move the timeline indicator to see the patterns evolve. So I still have to work it out as kind of a game or interactive workspace, but I think this is fantastic. I haven't even thought to make this 3D patterns and folding it and UV rapid and all the things that are possible, but a great example of how this can happen. And then looking into it, I wanted it to animate a little differently. I said clear all the past geometry because I always have to tell it explicitly to do that as it writes the next script. And then I was animate the diffusion model, which it was animating. I just wasn't being patient enough. I was like, why isn't this moving? But as you can see, this is just slowly evolving as a pattern. Really, really nice. And it gave me a few examples. By then, I caught on to what it was happening. And that's it. The summary, manual keyframing, right click, insert keyframe on the kill and feed sliders, which should give you some handle of what's happening here. So hopefully this helps out my friend a little bit as we get started, but then I just start making more detailed scripts, and I think I asked it to just, I don't know, is it possible to pull this script logic into the third dimension. Uh, third dimension for let's just say that and hit enter and see if that goes. And if so, we will take this and save. We will file save as, and reflection diffusion. We already have B. We'll go over to C. Like I said, you can see how fast you can fill up your computer depending on how many gigabytes you got. You're putting on a meg or 2 or 4 every time you're doing a process like this. But I love this kind of wandering, meandering kind of growth organism that's been fabricated for whatever reasons you might want to do. Pretty fantastic. Might leave it at that, or we will just hit enter because I always end up talking and not hitting the enter button. Let's see where this one goes. I think that's pretty nice. That came a long way from its origins. We're not playing anymore, and I'm wondering if it's still working on its own. We'll reset it. We'll hit play. Get it started. And if we're running it, it's still processing through. Really kind of nice. All right. Oh my goodness. The 3D gray dots equation is right here. I think I'll send that quickly to my friend, which is kind of nice. I will do that. I will just save a little screenshot, snipping tool, and send that off because that's nice information. And I thought it might be more multi-dimensional arrays, obviously. We're going to save that as desktop. Save, yes, and we'll send that off in a minute. But the 3D arrays in NumPy, which I did think was going to happen. Yeah, this is really nice. Uh, yeah, and what's nice about this is I can excuse me, I can always grab as I'm developing this and playing with things. I can always grab the uh-oh, what happened there? Oh no. Let me get back into that diffusion model. Um, that was the conclusion. That was the 3D array, I think. Example of 3D array snippet. Yeah, that logic is something I can share. And I was thinking, as we were talking, storing 3D arrays in NumPy to make it happen. Uh, yeah, I'm going to have to give up the headphones pretty soon. So let's just try this script as a 3D and see if it happens. Let's see how many. Oh, what is it adding? Import NumPy. Um, we're going to have to ask it, please write out the full script. And this is probably going to slow down quite a bit. And let's see if that goes to more lines. So what are we operating at right now? We have the whole thing running under 235 lines of script. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what this ends up turning it into. 3D Scott diffusion model is going to clear the scene, simulate the 3D, display 2D slices of it, so it's going to slow it down. I wonder how many slices it'll make. Press play to activate it, and it should be activating like this, but on a 3D level. Clear the screen. Let's just see how fast this is generating. Once again, if you're coming new to these ideas and you kind of know what you want to do, and you read a little bit of code, but you definitely understand what you're talking about, that script might have got a little lower, so let's smaller. No, 235. No, if we got it. Let me go back in, copy that script, grab all that script, paste it. Yeah, 293. I thought it was a little bigger. So there it is. And now it's operating on a 3D level, perhaps. Let's let it load up first. Let's take it into wire. We're only going to see it as that rendering and this one. And let's see what that one ends up turning into. It looks like there's a little bit of problems and bugs with it. Maybe I was just going a little too far. So as I'm trying to figure out what that's doing, because it's a mess. Oh my goodness. It's a mess of what's happening. I probably want to stop that, go back to the beginning, run it again. It's thinking like a 3D model, but there are some problems with it. So I've got to get my head around the logic of that. But until that works, I may just file save as working process and then open. We'll hit save, and we want to go back and do our Diffusion model B, which was this one, which was operating pretty nicely. And we just keep running that one and see what it turns into. Anyhow, I will keep plugging away at it, and very exciting to be able to use openAI to get me the formulas and logic to start picking apart as a mathematician or as a physicist or as just somebody interested in 3D CAD modeling. Thanks very much for watching.